Hey guys, Smitty here with Just Piddlin Barbecue, and today I have just wrapped up a review on the Lifetime gas and pellet grill combo, and today I'm going to tell you what I think. Stay tuned. Alright, before we get started, let me give you a full disclosure. Lifetime did send me an email and asked me if I would be interested in doing a review of their grill if they sent it to me at no cost to me. And I agreed to do that with the condition that I would give a completely honest review. And they said that was exactly what they wanted, an honest review, and so that's what I'm going to give them today. Big shout out to Lifetime for giving me this opportunity to do a review of their grill. Thanks to Ryan, it's been a really great experience, and so I want to thank them for that. So let's get started with the review. So first of all, let me tell you my expectations, and again, I'm being honest about everything in the video. My expectations, to be honest, were not very good. This is not a grill company per se. Me personally, I've known Lifetime for their white foldable tables, their white chairs that go along with the tables. I have looked into their coolers, but that was about it. I didn't really think that they were into grills. And so my expectations, to be honest, were not very high, especially when you get into pellet grills, because they can be a little more complicated. There's a lot of things that goes on with pellet grills, and really the market is pretty flooded with new pellet grills right now. So I really didn't know what to expect, but I gotta admit my expectations were not very high. And then I got the grill, and well, let's talk about what happened. So what were my actual impressions of this grill? Well, after assembly, to be honest with you, once again, I was pretty impressed. Not what I expected at all. This was a very well built, very well thought out grill. And really it's two grills in one. It's a gas grill and it's a pellet grill all on one platform. And after I got it together, I've put together a lot of grills. I own 10 or 12 grills. And so I've put together a lot of grills in my day, and after putting this one together, seeing it completed, just feeling it, lifting the lid, feeling everything as I was putting it together, very well built. Really impressed. Exceeded my expectations as far as build quality and how it was thought out. So I was really looking forward to seeing more about how it worked, how it operated, and that kind of stuff. But my first impression after assembly was 2 thumbs up. Really impressed with the build quality. The other thing that I was really impressed with was the assembly video and all of the other YouTube videos that they have to go along with this grill. Lifetime has done a great job on their YouTube channel of putting together an assortment of videos pertaining to nothing but this grill, from assembly to if there happens to be an error code, what those mean and how to overcome those, how to operate the pellet side, how to operate the gas side. All of those things are covered on their YouTube channel, and that was a really, give those 2 thumbs up for that as well, because they've done a really good job of that. The assembly video itself is priceless. I've never seen an assembly video that was put together this well. Every screw, you know exactly where to put it. You know where it goes. The whole thing is just very well put together. So I highly recommend, if you get this grill, don't go by the manual. Look it up on YouTube and use their assembly video, because it was outstanding. So other things that I was really impressed with was just the attention to details. Lots of times I get grills and they're fantastic, but there's always one thing that, I wish that it had. For example, a lot of grills don't come, pellet grills for example, they don't come with a place to wrap your cord. What are you supposed to do with the cord? So things like that. Well, this grill comes with a pellet dump to dump out your pellets from your hopper if you want to change them to a different flavor or whatever the case may be, or if you're just cleaning it out. Pellet dump. It has a place to wrap your cord. Cord storage is big. It has 3 different probes, which is big. It has an extra storage area that's probably about 5 inches deep. Above the propane tank, there's a stainless steel shelf, and there's a place there to store all kinds of stuff. Aprons, gloves, rubs, your probes, whatever the case may be. That's a huge storage area to store things. It also comes with locking casters. It also comes with a place to hang your utensils. Brushes, spatulas, tongs, those kinds of things. So that's really helpful as well when it comes to the fine details that go along with having a grill. And so those kinds of attentions to detail were really big. The other thing that I really liked about the grill and its design is that it has two separate grates on the bottom grate. So instead of having one large grate on the bottom, it's divided in half. That makes it really easy to take out and put back in and get your cleaning done. If you only cook on one half of the grill for a certain cook, then you only have to clean that side. So you can take that out, clean it, and put it back in without having to remove that whole one solid grate. So I do like that design better, and I wish more grill companies would take that large bottom grate, cut it in half to make it easier to get those things in and out and to clean it. So I like that design better. The temp probes themselves are absolutely amazing. They're probably the best quality temp probe that I've seen on a grill at all. They're color coded, they're very long, they're very well built, machined, and so I really like those a lot. Probably the best ones that I've seen on the market that actually come with a grill. Another thing that I noticed that I really liked a lot, and they're not included on some gas grills, this is a 4-burner gas grill along with the pellet side, but the gas part, 4 burners, but each single burner has its own igniter. Some gas grills, and I've had a gas grill that had 4 burners, but only the first burner had an igniter. So to light the one all the way on the left, you had to ignite the one on the right, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, just to light that one all the way on the left side. This one has igniters on all 4 burners, and I like that feature a lot. Now I've only had this grill for about a week, and so I've managed to do a couple of cooks on it. I wanted to see what it was about on the gas side and the pellet side. I started this channel with a gas grill. I had that gas grill for almost 9 years and cooked everything that you can imagine on that gas grill, and so very familiar with cooking with gas, but also now I've probably owned about maybe 20 pellet grills. I have about, 8 or 9 out there now. And so very familiar with pellet grills too. So I wanted to do at least one cook with gas and then one cook with pellets and see how each of those individual systems worked. And so on the gas side, I did that cook first, and I just cooked steaks. I wanted to see how well it was going to sear a good ribeye steak. And so one of the things I was really impressed with about this was I went out there and fired all 4 burners up, easily lit, and kicked them up to high, and within 2 minutes probably it was up to 500 degrees. My ultimate temperature when I started cooking was 780 degrees, so very high temps. Seasoned my ribeyes, put those ribeyes on there, cooked them on about 2 minutes, gave them a twist, cooked them another 2 minutes, got those nice hash marks, flipped them over for another 2 and another 2, and they were done. The searing was fantastic. The burners worked very well. and I was really impressed with the whole system. So 2 thumbs up as far as the gas system goes. The ease of lighting all of the burners, the way it cooked the steaks turned out phenomenal, and really no issues at all as far as the gas side goes. A couple days later, I was able to fire up the pellet side, and that was a pretty enjoyable experience as well. The only thing that I will say is, and it might have been user error, I'm not sure, but I couldn't get the prime auger function to work. I think there's a button there that you can prime the auger for the first time to get all those pellets through the auger to the fire pot. I really couldn't get it to work, so I just started it up normally and let the whole starting process go, cut the grill off and cut it back on again, and that first starting process primed the auger, and it started right up from there, no big issues. I cooked at 250 degrees, and I cooked some beer brats, so I smoked them at first, and then had my peppers and onions and my beer bath on the bottom. Then I combined the two in the same pan, kicked it up to 300 degrees, and then finished that cook. One of the things that I noticed about the pellet side that I really like is it reminded me of another pellet grill that I used to own. So for example, I had it set at 250 degrees. Well, it would go up to 260, 265 degrees, and then I didn't see much smoke. But then it would go back down to 250, and when it would get to 250, which is what I had it set at, it would dump pellets in there. I would get a really nice rolling of smoke, good smoke flavor. You could smell it, and then it would ease up to about 260, 265 again, and then it would slowly start coming back down to 250. Dump some more pellets in there, you get some nice smoke again. So I like a swinging pellet grill as far as temperature swing goes, because that pellet dump on occasion is really what gives you the smoke flavor, and I like it. I like that about this controller. So temperature range between 250, 260, sometimes 265 and back down, maybe sometimes 245, but then go back up. So and I like that. Some people want it, if they set it at 250, they want it to stay there, and that's fine, but you're not going to get very much smoke from that. Other than that, the pellet grill system worked flawlessly. I mean, I had no issues at all. One of the things that I couldn't get to work though was the app. The app installed perfectly and it worked perfectly. The only thing that I couldn't get it to do was I tried to get the temperature to increase from 250 to 300 on the app, and when I would hit enter, it would never actually switch it to 300, so I had to go do it on the controller. There might be an update that I need to do, and I need to check that as well. So that could be just an update issue, and that would solve that. But as far as the cooking process goes on the pellet side, no issues at all. It worked just like any other pellet grill that I've ever used works. So really no issues there. So we've kind of gone over kind of what my expectations or what my impressions were after the assembly. We've gone over a gas cook, we've gone over a pellet cook. So what's my overall summary of the Lifetime gas pellet combo? Fusion fuel is what they call it. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would recommend it, and I would highly recommend it. It is a very well built, very well functioning gas grill and pellet grill on each of it their own rights, but they fuse it into one assembly, and I think combined they could work well together. I haven't done a cook where I've tried to smoke some and then sear on the gas side yet, but you can do that as well. But I would highly recommend the grill. I think it's fantastic. If you're used to cooking on gas but want to get into a pellet grill, this might be the thing for you. You've still got the comfort of what you've been using up to this point, but then you can start experimenting with a pellet grill some. For those of you guys that own a pellet grill but want the ability to cook at 800 degrees, Well, this will give you that ability as well. You can reverse sear steaks, smoke them on the pellet side, and then crank up the propane and kick it up to 700, 800 degrees and sear them off. So I can understand why there would be a market for a grill like this. Let's talk about cost. Right now, I just looked on their website and it's $13.99, so $1,400. What do I think about that price point? If I compare that to other pellet grills, for example, I don't have a gas pellet combo. So I'm just comparing that to what I can compare it to at that price point. So other pellet grills, the construction, how does that compare to other grills that I have at that price point? It's very well constructed. I would put it on par with the construction of those other grills. The controller, does it do a lot of things that those other controllers do? Yes, it does, to a point. It doesn't have quite as many functions as some of the other grills do, as far as you can save cooks on the app, and it will also remember the last cook that you performed on the app. But there's a little more functionality to some other grills that I have that aren't on this one, such as customizable cooks that you can name and that kind of stuff. But this is a pretty high-tech controller, and so I would put it on par with others like this. So let's talk about pros and cons. Pros: construction and build quality. That's a pro. It's on par with any of the better grills that I've ever owned, as far as the build quality, the construction, what it's made out of, how it's put together, the stability of it, all of that. No complaints, no problems whatsoever. So thumbs up as far as the build quality and the construction goes. Ease of use, no problems with that at all. On the gas side or the pellet side, very easy to use, very easy to operate. With the YouTube videos that they have on their Lifetime YouTube channel, they make it super easy to operate, as well as they give you a very well thought out instruction type guide on the lid of the right above the propane tank that spells out a lot of things that some beginners may have questions about. So really good as far as that's concerned. So the ease of use, 2 thumbs up as far as that goes, and that's a pro as far as this grill is concerned. You've got really kind of the best of both worlds, if you want to say that. The low and slow smoking meats as far as the pellet grill side goes, and then up to like 800 degrees as far as the propane side goes. So again, you've got the best of both worlds. Also, you can hit the propane side, and within 5 minutes you can be at 400 or 500 degrees and cooking something. If it's something that you want to do after work late in the afternoon and you just want to cook a quick meal for your wife and kids, that's something that you can do really easy on the propane side. So you got the low and slow, or you got up to 800 degrees or so. And then the attention to detail is a pro as far as all of the extra stuff they included and thought out on the grill, such as the probes, the locking casters, the utensil area to hang utensils on, the storage area, the pellet dump, the cord wrap. All of those things are little fine details that you would expect out of a higher end grill, or a grill that costs $1,400. Are there some cons? Yes, there are. And I told you I was going to be honest about the grill. The biggest con to me, and another guy did a video and he mentioned this as well, is the assembly. Now I'm not talking about it was difficult to assemble, because if you follow the video that they have, anybody, and I mean anybody, can put together this grill. The assembly is super easy. However, it takes forever, in my opinion, to put this grill together. And I don't know how many screws I put into this thing, but it was a lot. And I didn't use a screwdriver, I used a regular DeWalt driver, and it still took forever. And in my opinion, I just think that if you're going to spend $1,400 on a grill, they should try to make it as easy as it can be for you to get it and start it up as soon as possible. You know, when you get a grill like this, if you're like me, you're antsy. You're ready to get into it. You're ready to see some smoke rolling. And that's not the case. It's going to take a while to put this thing together. And I just think some of the things that you had to put on could have already been on, like the little hook for the grease can, for example. Go ahead and put that on. Several little things like that, I think you could go, you know. So my recommendation would be, look at the grill and just ask yourself, is there anything that we can go ahead and attach for the customer so that they don't have to attach it when they get it? And I think that would be a big help. But as far as the assembly itself, they did a fantastic job. They even went so far as to give you an extra kit for things that they might not have included in there. You know, if they missed one screw, for example, or they were missing a couple of washers, for example. This is just a spare kit of everything that you're going to need. And all of the assembly packets were just like this. They've got a packet number, or lettering, for example, that identifies this packet. Then each one of the compartments has an identification for each screw, each washer, each bolt, whatever the case may be. So fantastic job of putting together an assembly packet with all of the hardware. No complaints about that. It's just that it's so much. I mean, by the time you get everything unpacked, you're like, holy cow, this is a lot. And I think that I'm fairly mechanically inclined, but it's just, like I said, I'm ready to fire it up. And it was about three and a half, maybe 4 hours before I got it put together. So that would be the biggest con for me. Another con was the app. Again, when you're purchasing a grill in this price range, I want a little bit more from the app that goes along with it. And basically this app is just basically your control screen on your grill on your phone. That's really what it is. It's just the screen on your phone. So everything that you can do from the screen, the controller screen, you can do on your phone. But that's really kind of where it ends. And what I would like to see is, take me somewhere where I can find recipes. Take me somewhere where you can help me be successful on this grill with food. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't stop with the grill. It stops with the food that I'm putting on my family's table. So help me with that part. After I get the grill, now what? What do I do? How do I do it? And so that's where I would like to see the app go, especially at this price range, is let me see some recipes. Put out some recipes. Where can I find how to cook on this grill? So that's where I would like the app to go. And I think that's an overlooked element of a lot of grill companies, is the app is kind of an afterthought. And the last thing is one thing that concerns me, and I haven't used the grill enough. I'll give you an updated version after I use it more and combine the pellet grill and gas grill side. I can see the element of user error propping up with the high temp cooks that you can do on gas versus the low and slow cooks for pellet grills, and usually that means fatty meats, briskets, pork butts. So I can see issues later down the road, and this is not Lifetime's fault, by the way. Let me say that up front. This is going to be the user's issue, but cooking a fatty pork butt one day with all the drippings and everything, and then the next day the same guy decides to go out there and for whatever reason he wants to do it, he wants to cook his burgers at 700 degrees, and there could be a flame up issue from one to the other if you don't clean your grill out, which you should, but a lot of people don't. And so all I'm saying is, you know, there is going to have to be a user responsibility issue when you get this grill, as far as high temp cooking, low temp cooking, and maybe some maintenance that you need to do between the two. So I would just, you know, put fair warning out there as far as that kind of thing goes. Be sure that you're cleaned up as far as the grill goes, and prepared and ready to go for whatever cook that you're going to do. So I would just kind of put that out there. But I haven't had any issues so far, and I keep all of my grills really clean, and that's the owner's responsibility. That's nothing for Lifetime as far as they are concerned. So there's my pros: construction, ease of use, low and slow or up to 800 degrees, and the fine details, they hit that out of the park. Cons: you've got the assembly takes way too long. Also the display. I think the display is almost information overload. There's way too many symbols on there, and you're like, okay, what does that symbol mean? Let me go look that back up. Well, there's another symbol. What does that mean? And it's like, I don't really need to know when the auger's moving, or I don't really need to know when the fan's on. I just, as long as it's working, I don't need to see that on the display. It's a little bit too much information on the display. It could be a little more refined and a little simpler. The app is a little bit too basic, and you just don't want to have an opportunity where there's going to be some user error issues from very high temp cooking to low and slow gas to pellet grill type deal. But that's really nothing that Lifetime has a responsibility for. I think they've done a great job of putting together two platforms, marrying them into one platform, and really not a knock on Lifetime. They're not really, in my opinion, known as a grill company, and they have built a grill better than a lot of grill companies out there, and that's all that they're known for, if you see what I'm saying. So kudos to Lifetime. I think they've built a great product. I highly recommend it. It's up to you as to whether it's going to be for you. Is it for me? I'm really not sure. I just don't really cook on gas much anymore. I like smelling the smoke and that kind of stuff, so I'm not sure how much I'll use the propane side versus the pellet side. But I have really enjoyed using both, and I'll continue to enjoy using that pellet side. So let me know if you have any questions. I hope this answered some questions about the Lifetime gas and pellet grill combo. I'm going to put a link in the description box below to their YouTube channel because it's fantastic. A lot of great info on there, and they do a great job with that. Thanks again to Lifetime and Ryan for contacting me and giving me this opportunity, because I have really enjoyed it. I love the Lifetime products. It's a very good brand, and I don't know of anything that I've ever had Lifetime brand that disappointed me. So thank you again. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section. And thanks again. Until next time, we'll be piddling. See you guys.